Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and usually I don't do videos this late in the day, but today I guess maybe politicians, maybe the people heard me rant and rave about this, or I go back to my original claim of people having power over the politicians. Now, a subscriber of mine left me a link to the information because I was out looking at a home to try to buy. I don't think I'm gonna buy this Appear and Be home. But anyway, to the stimulus update, right? You want to hear me talking about my business. I'm gonna get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. So we have great news, and this is what I predicted. If you go back and you listen to 3 of my previous videos, I predicted this because I said it's political. It's not about the people, it's political. And Donald Trump did not make me a liar, even though I ran it raving earlier. Just forget that video I did earlier. I was in my emotions. I was in my feelings because I care about people generally. Because everybody knows me. I do a lot of stuff for free for people because if I'm doing well off, then I don't want to hurt the people. But anyway, let's get right into this. I'm going to do some reading. I'm not just going to give it to you the way I usually give it to you, but I actually want to do some reading on this particular matter so you get some great information, okay? Let's go over to the scum lords. When it comes to news channels, all of them are scum lords, right? Fake news. I'm kidding. Anyway, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, I'm going to blow it up, see if you can see it with me, but I'm going to read. This is Donald Trump. The other 3 orders, he says, President Trump signed 4 executive orders today, one which will provide as much as $400 in enhanced unemployment benefits, 25% of which states are being asked to cover. After Democrats in White House were unable to reach an agreement on the coronavirus stimulus relief bill this week, the other 3 orders he signed, including a payroll tax holiday for Americans earning less than $100,000, which is most Americans, as well as extending an eviction moratorium and deferring student loan payments. Okay, that is the big kicker, ladies and gentlemen. So unemployment is back on as of Saturday, as of today. Unemployment is back on now. If you read more of this, he's talking about I'm taking action to provide an additional or extra $400 a week. Okay, like now the reason why he's saying it like that because we understand that unemployment ended. Okay, even though it was 600, but most Americans say no, you extending it or you providing an additional extra 400 because technically the other one ended. So by him signing a new executive order, he can say, I'm giving an additional or extra money because the other one ended. But essentially, he's just extending what the Dems had, but he's reducing it by $200. Now, granted, thank God it's not the $400 that the Republicans were first trying to introduce. He said, I'm taking action to provide an additional or extra $400 a week and expanded benefits. $400, that's generous. But we want to take care of our people, Trump said at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. He said he want to take care of the people by reducing the 600 to 400. And he talking about the golf club, I want to take care of people. Okay, Trump. But nonetheless, he came through what I thought he would because, again, this is political. Because some people who were on the fence are like, look, he gave unemployment. He gave payroll deduction. He deferred student loans. That's really going to sway them one way or another. And Biden, he's been saying crazy things about African Americans. Just the other day, he said African Americans are not diverse. Now, to back up a little bit about what he said, let me finish this. Trump said $300, 75% of the enhanced aid will come from the federal government. So that $300 out of the $400, $300 will come from the federal government, and the other $100 will come from the state. He said the other $100 will therefore have to come from the states. Since governors will have to pay that $100 for people to get the full benefit, it is not clear how many of those unemployed will be able to receive the full $400 benefit. Okay, this is very important for you guys who are really dependent on that extra $100. Now, the $300 is guaranteed because it's coming from the federal government. The other extra $100 is not a guarantee because it's coming from your state. Because if a state says we are bankrupt or we are operating out of debt, they can probably opt out of giving you that extra 100. Or what they say is, okay, anyone making under $50,000 will receive the $100, but anybody above making more than $50,000 a year won't receive it, because when he did this, that $100 is now left up to the state. So this is where you start calling, you start emailing, you start sending letters to your state officials to let them know, hey, we all need this $100, because again, if you guys send this information out onesies and twosies, you have no power. The power is with the people, and people mean numbers, okay? You need numbers, not onesies and twosies. All right. He said, but when asked about the president's executive order asking states to pay 25% of the $400 unemployment relief, an official from a northeastern state ran by a Democratic governor laughed. We don't have the money. We don't have the money. That's what they said. We don't have the money. So he's laughing at it because he pulled this on us. Because, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, he is a businessman. So the way he wrote it up, yeah, we're going to extend $400 in unemployment benefits, but the states have to give 25% of that, which is $100. Okay, they have to give $100. Then the state was like, we don't have the money to give that $100 to everybody who's on unemployment. So the official went on to say that we're not giving any heads up on this executive order that in the wake of this pandemic, their funds are completely tapped. Now, granted, I don't know where the states are when it comes if they have the money or not, but states have been operating out of debt because of this pandemic. They had to do a lot of things for clinics and hospital and essential workers. So I kind of believe that sentiment that they are actually hurting and that they're tapped out. Okay, what's other pertinent? Let's move on to our other friends at Fox News. No. All right. So the president didn't address some of the big issues that congressional proposals sought to tackle, including another round of $1,200 stimulus check. Whether it be $2,400 for your murder joint or your $1,200 for your singles. They didn't address that. So don't think because he did executive orders, they're not dealing with individuals and married couples. Because again, the other three he signed was for a payroll tax holiday, for Americans earning less than $100,000 a year, as well as extending the eviction moratorium so people don't get put out their homes, and deferring student loan payments and interest rates, okay? Student loan payments and interest rate. That is the gist of this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's laughable because I thought it was a full $400, but unfortunately, it's not a full $400 because your state has to give you that extra 100, and a lot of states are in debt. A lot of states are in debt. So we have a big problem. What's going on, Stephen Gardner? Where did my beard go? I'm back to the smooth face for a while. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your stimulus update. But again, I'm going to give a small clap. You probably will never see this again because a lot of you know this is for political reasons that Donald Trump signed these executive orders. But regardless of the reason, because of the unemployment, and even though I know tons of students need that deferred payments, and I know tons of people need that tax payroll deduction, I'm gonna do this for Donald Trump. He got a hand clap from me. He got two claps, okay? Because he did not make me a liar, and I did predict the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is great news for a lot of you who were depending on that extra money for unemployment. It's great news. Now, unfortunately, he believes that $600 was too much, so he decreased it by $200. But this is 10 times better than what the Mark Meadows and Steve Mnuchin, okay? And Steve Mnuchin was trying to put out, and also Mitch McConnell was like, no, $600 is way too much money. Let's just do $200. $200 is like people are not getting paid 100% of their paycheck. So that extra bonus, that extra benefit of $600 actually supplemented a lot of people paychecks to bring them back to 100%. Now, let's be real about this. A lot of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Now, granted, that falls on us to do better by our finances, but nonetheless, we didn't predict that the pandemic was going to happen either, right? Now, granted, hopefully this has opened up some people's eyes to get their finances in order. Now, me and Stephen Gardner, who's in the chat right now, we are financial coaches. So you can go to his website or you can go to my website and we can actually help you guys get out of debt. So you're not waiting on the government to pay you a stimulus check, because guess what? With this new stimulus, with these new stimulus executive orders, there is no direct check to you. I'm going to say this again. There is no direct check to the American people. So if you are single, making under $75,000 a year, you're not receiving that $1,200 stimulus check. If you are married and you're making $150,000 or less, you're not receiving that $2,400 stimulus check, because the Republicans and the Democrats could not get their stuff together. Of course, Nancy Pelosi. Of course, Chuck Schumer. Of course, Mark Meadows, Mitch McConnell, Steve Mnuchin. Of course, they're pointing fingers at each other. Now, granted, Donald Trump is pointing fingers at the Democrats, said, hey, we had a bill on the table, and now the Democrats want to listen. No American person who is in the want, who is in the need, if you're in the need, you can care less about your government bickering about what's going into a bill. Rather, you say, hey, listen, all those slush funds and special projects that you guys got, how about you just cut all of that out? You do the payroll tax, you do the student, you do the PPP, and you do the direct stimulus payments to the people. That is what we need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, because this has gone on far too long. And again, Donald Trump, your president, my president, he gets 2 claps because he didn't make me a liar. And I said, regardless of how he gets it done, he will get it done with one exception: no payments to the American people. This is what I hate. Now, granted, you will get, if you are filing unemployment, you will receive $400 extra. Okay, I know what you're saying. I was receiving $600, but believe me, it's a lot better than that $200. Let me read some of your notes. DJ Cool said, the hope is here again. Thelma Spain said, hello from Miami. Hello. DJ Cool said, Trump did it again. Executive order signed, bruh. There's a good anger, but you're doing good. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's back on to employment. And Stephen Gardner says, okay, I think he got sick of the two parties fighting for over 2 weeks and getting nothing done for the people. Okay. I agree and I disagree, Stephen, because again, since I don't belong to any political party, I don't know if he got sick and tired of them going back and forth. I'm just going to say he signed those executive orders for political reelection reasons. For political reelection reasons, okay? And he said, you clap for a Zionist president. Delmer said, right. I think a stimulus check will happen. Now, the person who said that I clap for a Zionist president, no. I clap for the executive orders that he put into order. He said I clap for Donald Trump because we need Donald Trump's signature on those executive orders. But don't think for one moment that I'm applauding Donald Trump. I'm applauding the signature because we're getting help as the American people. And again, if anybody doesn't know me, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not independent. I'm just Ross World. I'm just Financial Literacy 101. Okay, so this is not a political chant at all, but sometimes I can get political. So let's just get that straight. So that is for the signatures, my friend. So unfortunately, the man behind the pen is President Donald J. Trump. And so I applaud that he did sign those executive orders because I know a lot of people who need that money. And I know 10 times more people who need the direct payments of the stimulus package. Now, granted, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're reading CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, CSNBC, C-SPAN, it doesn't matter, your cable television network, there is no stimulus payments coming to the American people. That may come later, but as of Saturday, August the 8th, 2020, there is no stimulus payments directly coming to the American people. There is no paycheck protection program that has been extended to the American people for their small businesses. The only thing you're getting is student loan deferred payments and interest rates. You're getting your payroll tax holiday, as he says it, okay? And you're getting your unemployment benefit for $400. That's pretty much it. That's all the help we're getting, but it's something. It's something. So I must stress that we are getting something. Mike says, especially those who don't have a job. Thank you very much, Mike. This is going to help a lot of people. This is going to help a lot of people, but unfortunately, this doesn't help everybody. This doesn't help everybody because guess what? Let me let the cat out the bag. I filed for unemployment. I couldn't even get on the line. I couldn't even get on the line with Washington State. They're accepting no phone calls at all. So I get online to Washington State and I'm filling out all these forms and then they just stop contacting me. They just start contacting me. So believe me, there's millions of people who can't even get through. Some of my clients call me and say, hey, listen, I've sent letters to the unemployment office. I stood outside in line. They won't let me in. I have called. I have emailed. I'm getting no return. There are millions and millions of Americans still not receiving unemployment benefits. It's crazy. So even though that this additional $400 that was reduced from $600 is going to help millions of Americans, but there's still millions of Americans that can't even get in the door, that still can't even get any response, that still can't even get any correspondence back from their state governments so they can officially file for unemployment. Because if I can't do it, and believe me, I'm writing letters, I'm writing emails, I'm trying to hack the website. I'm not trying to hack the website. That just sounded good at the time. I'm not trying to hack the website. But anyway, the point I'm making is I'm trying my best to get some. I can't even get none. Okay, so these are the issues that we're running into now for students. I feel great for students because, again, let me read exactly what they had here. It says here that for students, they're deferring student loan payments. They are deferring student loan payments. So for those students who owes 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, $60,000, depending on where you went. Because I know some people who went to Penn State, they owe $35,000 to $40,000. Thank God their payments are being deferred. Thank God their payments are being deferred because they're out of work. Now they call it a payroll tax holiday. So people are not paying taxes. Does that mean we're going to make up these taxes next year? Does that mean taxes are going to rise next year? And that's for Americans who make less than $100,000. That's for Americans who make less than $100,000. And the biggest one, in my opinion, if I had to rank these, this is just me. The unemployment one is huge. I call that number one. The eviction moratorium is number two. The eviction moratorium is number two because I hate to see people get put out. Because if anybody knows my story, I'm from Southeast DC, Washington, D.C. I'm from Southeast D.C. And I have come home to when I was a kid and saw all of our furniture out on the sidewalk. Okay, so no one's getting evicted. I mean, you got evicted. You can make the payments. So right now, people can't get evicted if their property is under a federal loan. Now, certain states have extenuated and extended the federal policies and guidelines from the eviction moratorium down to the state level, okay, for those private loans and things of that matter. So this is actually great news. If states were going to do that, now you have a Sallie Mae, Fannie Mae, you have VA loan, FHA loan. This is great for you. Whether it's your apartment building, your condo, your trailer, your apartment, and also your house. If your loan is under one of these, then guess what? There's an eviction moratorium that they cannot evict you. And this is by a presidential executive order. So that's great news. Okay, so that's great news. So for me, it's unemployment with the extra $400. Second is the eviction moratorium. And then third is for those students, deferred payments they don't have to pay right now because of this whole pandemic, okay? And then fourthly is the payroll tax holiday. For the payroll tax holiday. This is great news for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've never been to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. If you don't like this video, give it a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. Tell me how you feel. Leave comments in the comment section, but I said it that I believe he was going to do it for political reasons. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This has came to fruition for the American people. I'm happy, but I'm not. I feel better than I was. I'm not happy. I would be happy if everyone will be receiving their stimulus payments, their stimulus checks. That is when I'll be truly happy. Right now, I feel okay because I feel that the relief is now here. Just a little bit, not a lot of it. I'm going to read your notes and I'm going to get out of here. We got Ryan Williams says, very sad. Please expound on that, Ryan Williams. Stephen Gardner says the unemployment officers are overwhelmed with calls. Direct stimulus to the people would be much faster. I agree. I agree with you 100%, Stephen. Christopher Clayton says, I think taxes are going to be a pain in the you-know-what next year because of what's happening. I absolutely believe that taxes are going to rise because we're still a nation that's operating out of debt. Ernest Seal says the young people will be paying those taxes in the future, unfortunately. Stephen Gardner says, at Christopher Clayton, I agree, taxes will be much higher in the future. And DJ Cool says, a lot of Americans are happy with stimulus money. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's the one thing that will make me happy is the stimulus direct payments to the people. Nonetheless, people who are filed for unemployment, you're going to receive that extra $400. We got the eviction moratorium that's been extended. We have the payroll tax deduction, and we have the student loan deferments. This is Financial Literacy 101. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. Learn money and be inspired. And hopefully Donald Trump gets a scratch. He gets an itch and say, you know what? I really want to be president next week. So let me sign one more executive order for direct stimulus payment to the people. I'm out.